Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Today we're going to be talking about money leaks that can destroy a business if the business owner doesn't patch that leak and in a hurry. Joining us to talk about that, Tim Ross, he's with Schooley Mitchell. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jeff. I just really appreciate the opportunity to come in and visit with you and get to talk about some of our great clients and what we can do to help people out.
Absolutely. So a lot of business owners have no idea where the money's going.
No, they really don't. Now, this is we're in a very blessed area. Mm-hmm. Even COVID-19, we've been blessed because so many businesses open and just explode here. And so when that happens, you tend to just be focused about doing your sales, taking care of your customers, clients, and that's it. And you don't know if you're paying too much for an expense, nor do you really have the time to check. And it's often shocking whenever you take the time or have somebody look at that and you understand how much you've been overpaying for however long it is, but you've been paying that for that service.
You were telling me off camera that the worst case you ever heard was 90%?
90%, and it was, there's multiple folks like me that do this across the country, but we actually had one of the consultants that actually had somebody that was overspending by over 90% on waste. And they've been doing so for about 5 years.
Oh my goodness.
So I can only imagine what they were thinking whenever they saw, oh my gosh, I've overspent this much, and did the math of how much money they've thrown away.
Yes. Well, there's an overview video on your website. Let's roll that now.
Okay, let's say this is you. Maybe you're in charge of the department that manages that company's finances, or you're in charge of an IT team that does important stuff. Either way, you're busy, really busy. I bet you'd like to have more time to get stuff done and more capital to spend on things that matter to you. Whether you need more time or more money, Schooley Mitchell can help. Since 1998, we've helped over 20,000 businesses save an average of 28% on their various business expenses, including areas such as telecom, merchant services, shipping, and waste. When combined, these services often represent 15 to 20% of a business's expenses. And most companies have several vendors they have to manage, making things complicated. Schooley Mitchell can act as a single point of contact to manage all these relationships so you can focus on what you do best. And we do it with complete objectivity. We have no ties to any of the vendors or processors. In fact, 80% of the time, our recommendations entail no supplier change. So how do we save people that much money? Let me show you how. We have a database of over 20,000 clients' pricing because we're the ones who put those deals together. So whether you have 100 lines with AT&T or 5 bins with Waste Management or 10 shipments per day with FedEx, we know what you should be paying for it. Our service is truly an everybody wins situation. If we can save you money, our compensation is a percentage of your savings. The rest goes to you. If we can't save you money, you just received a free independent audit of your services. Simple, huh? You just save time and money with no risk. Schooley Mitchell just made life easier.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It does a good job explaining what you guys do and how you do it. So when you are first brought in by a client, are there some usual hiding places that you search?
Well, there are. Obviously there's the basic services we take care of, which is credit card processing fees, anything they pay to dispose of, we call it waste, and that can be multiple things. Telecommunications, phone, internet, cell phones, fleet tracking for vehicles, even e-signature, and then also shipping. And that's just basically small parcel shipping through FedEx and UPS. Now, when you go into a business, It's not just about talking to our services. We're going to take the time to actually get to know your business, get to know you, what your interests are, what your concerns are, and do whatever we can to help out. When you say what are the most common things, it's the things they're not focused on.
Yes.
And we claim really 4 things. We want to save people money. We want to save people time, and a lot of times they don't even have time to do it. So it's us, somebody needs to do it for them, and then provide great knowledge and security because we're looking out for them and making sure they're not being overcharged and not paying for things they don't need to have.
So when the world came to a standstill during the pandemic, it probably exposed a lot of leaks.
It's kind of funny because I shouldn't say funny. For 3 or 4 weeks, it was like you couldn't get anybody to talk to us. And I think that's because everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. I got to do the PPP loan paperwork. And then like about 4 or 5 weeks out, reality started setting in. They kind of understanding where they're at. I have one client that we signed, great, talented guy, just purchased an Italian restaurant that's 35 years old and on February 1st. And it was one of those things where it's expensive to buy a 35-year-old established business. And in May, his revenue's in half. And so obviously he's concerned. Once he understands where he's at, we go in and help out for expenses. And I can tell you we're going to be able to get him a new POS system, which is where they ring up their orders, set him up for this new contactless, touchless situation we're in, right? And he's going to save money every month and have a brand new POS system. So it goes way beyond just saving money. We're helping them solve problems.
How long has the company been around?
22 years. So it's actually based in Stratford, Ontario. A guy who has an accounting firm, Dennis Schooley, and his partner's last name was Mitchell. Schooley Mitchell's how that came about. He was finding that during the off season of taxes, he's spending so much time helping his clients just get their finances in order that he said, there's a business here. And now today we have about 160 people doing what I do. We have 80 analysts that we utilize, and there's a great proprietary system and software for helping find these expense opportunities. And so it's just a great company to be with.
And I think the best thing is that even if they don't end up working with you, they've got a free audit. It becomes a no-brainer.
And it happens, about 80%. We find savings 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you're just going and telling somebody, hey, listen, congratulations, you're optimized on your expenses. Don't let anybody come and tell you you're not. I had one small pizza place. He was being bombarded weekly from credit card processing companies wanting him, saying, hey, I can get you a lower rate. So what we found out, he was the credit card processor, their franchisee, I should say, set such a good rate for the processing company, they're paying like 1 cent a transaction.
Wow.
And nobody can touch that. I said, you got the greatest thing in the world. I wish I could get all my clients set up this way. Right. That cost him no money.
That's
to
cool.
Find that out. And now he just tells everybody to leave. I've got great rates and I don't need to, thank you, but I don't need you to spend time with me on my credit card processing fees.
That's awesome. Well, Tim, we're out of time, so we're going to put your website up so everybody can get in touch with you. There you go, SchooleyMitchell.com. TK Ross is the /. Thank you so much.
And my wife is a great partner, too. She's all over Flower Mound. She does a great job. She couldn't be here today. She is the one that everybody loves to form relationships with.
That's a dream team.
Thank you to her.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.